Picture waking up in a hospital bed, your mind foggy, and the first words you speak are in a language you barely studied, a language you now speak like a native. This isn't a movie plot, it's the astonishing reality of a teenager named Tom. Welcome to Mysteries Within, where we uncover true stories of human mysteries that defy explanation. Today, we unravel the bizarre awakening of Tom's brain, a boy who emerged from a coma speaking fluent Spanish, a language he'd only touched in high school. Did his brain unlock a hidden talent, or is there a deeper secret at play? Join us on this thrilling dive into the brain's untapped mysteries. We've all struggled with language at some point. You're fumbling through a foreign phrase book on vacation, mispronouncing croissant at a Paris cafe, or blanking on a high school Spanish vocab test, your mind scrambling for gato when the answer's cat. These moments are universal, tying us to the challenge of communication. But for Tom, language became a gateway to the extraordinary. In 2016, Tom, a 16-year-old soccer player from Atlanta, Georgia, lived a typical American teen life. Lanky, with tousled brown hair and a quick grin, he loved video games, pizza nights, and chasing goals on the field. A 2016 report describes his story. During a soccer match, a brutal collision sent him crashing to the ground, his head struck by another player's cleat. He lay motionless, airlifted to a hospital where doctors induced a coma to manage brain swelling, as noted in a 2016 article. Let's connect to Tom's world. Think back to your teenage years, cramming for a test, your brain feeling like a tangled knot. Tom was no linguist. He'd taken basic Spanish in 9th grade, barely scraping by with phrases like "Donde está el baño?" His family, including his mom, Lisa, a nurse in her 40s with warm eyes, and his dad, Mike, a stocky mechanic in his 50s, spoke only English at home. Yet, in the sterile hush of the ICU, something unthinkable happened. After days in a coma, Tom stirred. A nurse, Maria, a Latina woman in her 30s with a calm demeanor, leaned in. His first words weren't English, they were fluent Spanish, rolling off his tongue like poetry, a complete sentence, no hesitation. A 2016 report captures the shock. Tom, who struggled with basic verbs, was now conversing effortlessly, as if he'd grown up in Madrid. By 2016, Tom, still 16, was awake but disoriented. His parents, hovering by his bedside, were stunned. Lisa, clutching Mike's hand, couldn't follow her son's words. A translator was called, confirming Tom's Spanish was near native, per a 2016 article on his case. Stranger still, English felt alien to him. Trying to say "I'm okay" triggered a mental block, like a seizure looming, he later told. Imagine losing your car keys, that sinking panic when they're nowhere to be found. That's how Tom felt. But with his native language. A 2016 piece explains he'd heard Spanish from classmates and his older brother who'd studied abroad in Spain, but never mastered it himself. Science offers clues to this brain secret. The brain's language centers, per a 2010 review, include Broca's area for speech production and Wernicke's area for comprehension, both in the left hemisphere. A coma, often induced to reduce brain swelling, as in Tom's case, 2016, can disrupt these networks. Michelle Paradis, a neurolinguist quoted in a 2013 article, calls this bilingual aphasia, where brain trauma suppresses the native language while sparing a secondary one. Tom's injury, a concussion, likely rewired his neural pathways, amplifying latent Spanish knowledge, per a 2018 blog from the University of Melbourne. His brain, in chaos, defaulted to a language he'd passively absorbed. Let's relate again. Ever zoned out driving, arriving home without recalling the route? Your brain's autopilot kicks in, pulling from hidden depths. By late 2016, Tom, now recovering at home, leaned into his new skill. At 16, with a slight limp from his injury, he joined a Spanish-speaking church group, chatting fluently with members like Javier, a 60-year-old grandfather with a weathered smile. A 2014 article on a similar case notes patients often regain their native language over time, and Tom's English slowly returned, though Spanish remained vivid. He'd dream in Spanish, scenes of bustling markets, as if his mind had lived another life, per a 2016 report. The mystery deepened. In 2017, at 17, Tom, now stronger, underwent fMRI scans at Emory University. Researchers, including Dr. Elena Ruiz, a neuroscientist in her 50s with sharp features, saw unusual activity in his temporal lobe, where language and memory intertwine, per a 2010 study. His brain showed heightened connections between Spanish-related circuits, as if the coma had unlocked dormant knowledge, a theory echoed in a 2018 post. Ever recall a childhood memory out of nowhere, like the smell of your grandma's cookies? Tom's Spanish felt like that, a buried treasure surfacing unbidden. But there's a catch. A 2016 article suggests such fluency may not be perfect. Tom's confidence masked errors, blending learned phrases with unconscious mimicry, a phenomenon linked to aphasia, per a 2013 piece by Lindsay Nichols. His Spanish, while impressive, wasn't flawless, and by 2018 at 18, his English dominance returned, dimming his Spanish slightly. He still joined a school exchange program to Mexico, living with a host family, speaking fluidly, as noted in a 2016 update on his recovery. A 2015 study hints at neuroplasticity. His young brain rewired itself post-trauma, amplifying a secondary language temporarily. Tom's life wasn't all miracles. In 2019, at 19, back in Atlanta, he faced emotional hurdles. Friends, like his buddy Jake, a 19-year-old with a skateboarder's slouch, found his story cool but distant. Tom struggled with identity, wondering why his brain chose Spanish per a 2016 interview. A 2017 study notes bilingual aphasia can disrupt self-perception as the native language ties to identity. Ever felt out of place at a party like you're speaking a different language? That was Tom's reality caught between two tongues. By 2020 at 20, Tom, now a college freshman with a buzz cut, used his Spanish to tutor kids, his grin back. A 2023 article suggests such cases reveal the brain's resilience, with trauma sometimes enhancing latent skills. His case, like others in a 2016 report, shows prior exposure, classmates, his brother, seeded the language unlocked by injury. A 2019 article on similar cases warns against exaggeration. Tom didn't learn Spanish in a coma, but awakened a hidden ability. Fast forward to 2025, Tom, now 25, works as a community organizer, his Spanish abridged to Atlanta's Latino neighborhoods. A 2024 piece speculates such cases echo ancient brain adaptations, where survival hinged on rapid skill shifts. His story, a blend of science and mystery, leaves us wondering, what if your brain holds secrets you'll never know? Is Tom's awakening a fluke, or do we all harbor untapped powers? This is Mysteries Within, diving into brain secrets and human mysteries that astound. If Tom's story blew your mind, hit subscribe for more true stories. What hidden talents might your brain be hiding? Share in the comments, and watch our next video for another journey into the unknown. Until then, chase the mysteries within.